Bowser's Fury is an awesome open-world Mario game. It has a lot of water areas that can be navigated with Plessy. But what if this ocean flooded the entire map? That's what we're gonna find out today, but before we do, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Let's go. So I began a new save file, and as always, Mario was stuck in the ground, but this time with some air bubbles already being displayed. I jumped out of the hole and could immediately start swimming. I swam for a little bit and looked around and saw Bowser just standing there. As I came closer, I realized that he didn't wake up like usual. That's because there's probably a Bowser trigger area somewhere on the ground, but since we don't touch it, he doesn't wake up. I tried to swim closer to him, but he just kept doing nothing. I also touched him, but he could still damage me. Then I swam back to the first shine, and normally these blocks need to be broken to be able to get the shine. Another thing with these blocks is that they started to light up, even though Bowser wasn't even awake. This normally only happens when Bowser is about to shoot fire, if I'm correct. So I got the shine, and that made Bowser finally wake up. I could finally go to the next area. I went to talk with Bowser Jr., but the camera was messed up a bit. Instead of the camera looking from the front, it was now looking from below. Sadly, that camera issue didn't only occur in the Bowser Jr. cutscene. From time to time, the camera just didn't want to cooperate and did its own thing. When I tried to get some power-ups, they just immediately disappeared when triggering them. I think this is because some power-ups disappear when touching water, but not all, so I was a little bit confused. All enemies and NPCs acted like there was no water at all, like these cats for example. They just kept running like normal. Another example are these cat bullies. Interestingly enough, Mario was strong enough to take a hit from the bullies without getting bounced back himself, because of the water. So killing them all was a breeze. While I was here, I also tried to swim underneath this platform. From down here, only the jump platforms were still there. The rest of the entire platform wasn't visible. Sometimes, some lighthouses didn't really spawn in for some reason, like this one. It only spawned when going behind it. The next thing I did was checking if Mario would take damage in the black stuff. I swam into it and took damage, but I could not get out of it. Normally you can jump out easily, but it wasn't possible while swimming. Right after, Fury Bowser woke up. I tried to see if his attack could harm Mario, and to my surprise, they couldn't. Due to the water, Bowser Fire couldn't hit Mario, which was pretty cool. Afterwards, I got this shine. All went well until the sequence of the shine was over, because this happened. The camera glitched out for a bit, and this happened with multiple other shines as well. Suddenly, I had the urge to swim as high as I could, and so I did. At one point I was so high that I could only see the black matter on my screen. After going even higher, the screen started glitching out a little bit, displaying some kind of dome or horizon. At this point I was already swimming quite long, so Bowser decided to wake up. When I looked below me, I could actually see him trying to hit me. Of course he couldn't reach me this high, neither could his fireballs. This didn't stop me from swimming even higher. The screen was halfway taken by the weird horizon and halfway taken by the actual map. I kept swimming and suddenly, the camera stopped following Mario. I could still swim on, but nothing really interesting happened anymore, so I went back down. Once back on the surface, I got this shine and for some reason the camera was now locked in place. I swam off and I got locked into another place. I swam off again and it got locked into yet another spot. After a while, the camera fixed itself and I got to the Giga Cat Bell. I became Giga Cat Mario and got to the giant fight. Sadly, the map wasn't flooded right here, or at least it didn't look like it, so no underwater fight with Bowser, I'm sorry. After defeating Bowser, I unlocked Plessy. I jumped on her back and Plessy jumped in the water. The camera was being annoying again, and when I tried to jump while in the water, Plessy started going up very fast, but then teleported back down. I think she teleports back down whenever she would normally fall back in the water after a jump. When I tried to do a dive jump, I got the same results. Then I got off her back for a second. When I tried to get back on, the game wouldn't let me and I would just slide off, so I guess we can't use Plessy anymore from this point on. I also tried to see what happens if Mario tries to swim in the water that is normally already there. He just started bouncing off the water and could stand on it. I guess Mario is Jesus now. While I was doing this, Plessy spawned in and directly disappeared. At some areas in the water, Mario could actually sink instead of bouncing. This is normally not possible, as he usually floats on the water. From here, we could see some pretty cool stuff. Plessy also spawned in right there for some reason. I hopped into the ice skate to see what would happen underwater, but it worked perfectly fine like there was no water at all. Then I tried these springs and they worked fine as well. The only difference is when you use it, you don't get flowing that far and just start swimming again. Now this area was quite interesting. Normally you can climb the tower to get in or swim underneath, but we could just swim over. When I landed on the arena, Pom Pom's boss fight initiated. I found that weird because normally you fight Boom Boom first, but then he showed up as well. And then another Boom Boom jumped down too, so I had to fight them all at once. First I killed the normal Boom Boom, then the difficult Boom Boom, and then Pom Pom. This of course gave me 3 shines that were all in almost the exact same spot. I got the top shine with no problem, but after collecting the second shine the game just froze. I couldn't go to a menu, so I had to restart my game. Also, did you see Mario's eye here? Let me show it again. For some reason that felt creepy to see. In this area, you normally climb an invisible tower to get this shine, but by swimming it was way easier. Afterwards I went over to the Crisp Climb Castle. I put on a propeller box, but I couldn't actually use it, so it's useless underwater. I swam up all the way instead of climbing like usual. At the top I collected the shine, but the game froze again, so I had to restart the game again. Once the game restarted, I went looking for some shines that are normally unreachable. This one for example can only be reached by breaking the fury blocks to reveal a cannon that shoots you up there. By swimming, I could simply get it without the cannon. The dash pads also don't really do anything underwater. They still activate but don't give you any speed. I got the shine and moved on. Here was another shine on a flying island I could actually already get. There was also this flying island, but after the sequence of collecting the shine, I got this weird bright view from underneath the island. So once again I restarted my game. Then I tried swimming into the Fury Bowser area. As you may already know, there is an invisible wall which prevents you from doing so, but this time I could swim up and potentially go over the wall. Sadly it was also blocked off from the top. As you can see with this ground pound, there is an invisible floor. Luckily I got a nice view from this area on the entire map. I arrived at this area and ground pounded this button to start a challenge. During this challenge, explosive balls get shot out of cannons, but underwater they just instantly break. It was also not possible to get to the shine in time with this swimming speed. Trying to pick up items and cats underwater also doesn't really work and looked rather glitchy. Then I went over to Mount Magmeow. This area was normally still inaccessible, but I could already go there by swimming. Everything loaded in very late when I came closer to the island. I could already go in this pipe, but the camera glitched out when doing so. The last thing I did was fighting Prince Bully, but just like the other bullies it was very easy and I killed him. And what a surprise, the game froze again. Thank you for watching. Not everything went swimmingly, but I think the video turned out to be interesting anyway. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you soon.